All right, so new Brighter Shores skill capes just dropped like last week apparently, so we're going to talk about that. First of all, though, like I just want to mention the fact that this game isn't even out yet, and there's already a place called Brighter Shores Central, and this guy who's making all this content, like he's like, this is my all-in moment. This is what I'm doing. Like that always surprises me whenever people get ahead of the game like that and do those kinds of things because it's such a like a clear move and marketing tactic, you know? And like this guy doesn't even know he's going to be good at this game yet or not. I find it so shocking. Anyways, let's watch
Welcome
this video.
to
Let's see what he
Brighter
has to say
Shores
about it. Let's see how
Central,
good his
your
content is.
one-stop shop for all Brighter Shores news. This upcoming MMORPG that is launching very soon.
It's
We've got
supposedly.
some more information about professions in Brighter Shores and profession capes. We're going to go through what these skills might be and also how you obtain these capes as well.
We're gonna sit here and just pontificate for 12 minutes and try to figure out what's going on. I feel you, dude. That's what I do too. I don't know anything. I don't check any facts. Like y'all tune in just to watch me sit around and yap, and I appreciate that so much. You know,
We're going to go through other bits of information in this video, so fun-packed video here today
Fun-packed,
about this
dude.
upcoming MMO. I hope you're all looking forward to the game as much as I am. I am excited about the game, and I think
stoked,
it's going
brother.
to be really good. I
me
think
too.
there's a lot of good things about the game. Some concerns, which I might go into in this video, but we'll go through the news first. So first of all, we've got the
I'm
release.
tired of having concerns, dude. I'm tired of having concerns about video games. That at the end of the day, like I couldn't care less about, like, you know, I'm gonna play them regardless. Like, who cares, dude? What am I concerned about? You know, what do I have to be worried about in a video? Oh, it might not be exactly what I. Who cares, brother? Like,
Of
honestly,
these profession capes that you can see on screen now. Now, just to lay out the information
Drinking my
here,
morning
first
coffee.
of all, you can see on the left where it says Journeyman, Adept, Expert, and Completed. Now, these are the tiers of the capes. So, as you level up your skill,
yeah. As you level up, you get. I'll do this really quick because he takes a while. As you level up, you get each layer of your cape as it goes down, dude. I'm so sorry. I'm just feeling brand new this morning. I mean nothing by it. These Brits love these Andrew Gower games, dude.
your cape will get longer and add more design to it, and that is what
he's
it
from
is. It's a
Yorkshire.
dynamic cape. So instead of actually getting, say, level 99 in a skill, and of course getting your skill cape, and I've got like 18 of those so far or something like that. You don't just do that. It actually levels up as you go along. And I think that's a very interesting way of doing it because it's quite dynamic. It also makes it interesting that you want to complete your cape or get to the next.
I think it's basically going to be like achievement diaries and skill capes all sort of rolled into one. I'm going to assume that as you start leveling up, you're probably going to have different rewards that you get from having each piece of the cape completed. And then at the very end, you'll have all those rewards. And wearing that cape will be the best in slot for whatever that skill is.
Step of the completion of your dynamic
It makes me think that there's going to be a lot of focus that sort of centralizes around the capes specifically and completing them. That's going to be a big mechanic because you get a cape right from the get-go and then you fill it out.
profession cape essentially. Now, so that's very interesting. Also, these are episode 3 and episode 4 capes, but let's get into the design
Yeah,
now.
I'm pretty excited about these.
So
I haven't seen these
first
at all
of
yet.
all, we've got Mind Fighter. So Mind Fighter.
Show us the whole thing. Mind Fighter. Mind Fighter is one of the new professions? Is this Hunter? Mind Fighter. None of these are like monsters or anything. Okay, let's hear what
He's
you
got
got
a cape there where at the start near the Journeyman, it's got a lizard on it, which is very, very interesting. So these are going to be the
does,
lower level
dude.
monsters, I assume, that you've got to kill. So lizard type
Yeah, but the higher ones look like spiders, bro. Like lizards are better than spiders. They eat spiders.
mobs in the mines. I would assume the mine of Manchubin, which is
Mine Fighter, not Mind Fighter. Okay, with an E at the end. Mine Fighter. There's a skill for fighting in the mines. Bro, is he going to make this too much? Is it going to be too much now? Before, when he had all these professions, I don't remember Mine Fighter. Hold
going
on,
to be
we just
one
got
of
to
the
keep watching.
areas where you do a lot of mining. So that is going to be creatures that you can kill in terms of mine-based creatures, I guess. So things like
Bro, at the bottom there's a little crab flexing. Yeah, dude. No, I feel it. It's an okay looking design. I don't love this one. I do like the like steel plating on the outside of it and the way it sort of all bands together through the bottom. I think that the actual like layout of the cape is kind of sus though, as far as it becoming increasingly better and better. I don't know what the hell a mine fighter is, and I don't think that his observation about it being creatures that you can fight in the mine, like I don't know why this would be a skill if that was the case. That just seems like combat to me.
Lizards, cave lizards, etc.
Yeah, he's like the early level ones, but then down here it's like cockroaches, dude.
In the mines. Now you've then got Adept, which has got like what seems to be sort of bats
April Fool's
or
joke.
something there, and then of course when you get to Expert, you got some kind of poisonous insects, and then completed, you actually have this kind of glowing crab. So could that be a possible boss? We do not know that. We do not know whether this is going to be a boss or whether it is just the case.
We don't know anything, dude. It's just like, listen, because I get it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm out here. I'm thirsty for the content, dude. Like, I'm just trying to figure out something to make a video about. I make a video every single day. Like, I understand the grind, dude. But, like, let the game come out, my guy.
Case of the glowing mobs are an indicator to say that, look, these are going to be some of the strongest mobs in the cave. So when you go into the Miner Mantuban or you go into any of the mining zones in the game, anything that's glowing,
he's from Yorkshire.
You better be prepared for. And that's very interesting to know, because on this game, it's noted that you cannot run away from a fight straight away. So when you get locked into combat with a mob, you can't run away for a certain amount of time.
Yeah,
so you have to be very careful on which mobs you want to interact with and engage with and attempt to kill, because you can't just run away straight away, essentially. So I think that that's going to be interesting. We've also got...
I love that we're so hungry for information about this game, and Andrew Gower's played it so close to the chest. I find it super interesting the way that he's sort of done this whole thing, where he has told us so very little, and I keep looking like all the time for new information about Brighter Shores and to try to figure out what's actually going on with it, and there's so little of it that's actually come out, and that's just really odd, because the game comes out in a little bit over a month at this point, and so the 5th of November is what he supposedly said. So we really don't know a whole lot. And because we don't know a whole lot, we're like having full conversations about these base level mechanics. This idea of like, well, you can't run away from every single fight immediately. It's like, okay, dude.
Got something called the sense skill, the sense ability, where basically it flashes and you can see the level of mobs, the type of resources that are in a particular area. Now, that could be paired well with the Mine Fighter skill, in my opinion, because you'll be able to see, okay, there's glowing mobs there. They're probably going to be higher level. You know, maybe
why does Mine Fighter need to be a skill? Are you going to have boosts with like explosives and pickaxes? What is the purpose of Mine Fighter being a skill in the game? It feels like we're getting way too micro level. We're going to have to see how this all shakes out when it actually happens. But like what is Mine Fighter,
about
dude?
The map.
That's like when a kid comes to school and he's just like, yeah, I got Blipsy yesterday, and you're like, well, dude, what is Blipsy, bro? And he's like, Blipsy.
Using this sort of
no,
spell.
you can't just make up a thing.
An interesting.
I mean, you
point
can,
there where it works well together.
But I don't know what
the
it
point
is.
Is that the stuff that's glowing is probably going to be not necessarily boss type monsters, but maybe the step down from that. Shall we
veterans,
say, like little mini bosses, shall we say? And so the Mine Fighter, very. Are
we gonna have Ocean Fighter next, or are we gonna have a Woods Fighter? Are we gonna have City Fighter? You just fight rats and like raccoons and possums and like snakes and stuff. Are we gonna have what else is there? Are we gonna have Kitchen Fighter, where you just like come out into the dining room and just slap the mean customer across the face? Are we gonna, like what is all this nitty gritty?
I'm going to talk about what I think that skill involves.
Let me play the game, Andrew Gower. Give me a copy of this game to play, dude. I want to know what's going on inside of it. I've been playing your games forever. I make content about all of them. I love your development skills. I think that you have a really good idea about what the simulation of a world feels like. I'm really excited to see what you've come up with this one, and because you have so many, you've made so many interesting statements about it over the course of its development time. I really want to know what this game feels like. If you need someone to get in there, dude, I'm your guy, brother. I promise you. I'm your guy. I mean, probably also the guy who has the channel literally called Brighter Shore Central. But me, I'm the guy, dude.
Next one. We've then got blacksmithing, which is very similar to the Infernal Cape.
Finally.
I mean, not very similar, but
It's a cape about blacksmithing, my guy. I mean, like, they all look like Inferno capes, shape-wise. They all look like Inferno capes, like, we know that. But, like, it's a cape about blacksmithing. This one's pretty good. This one feels very, like, mid-2000s, like, tap-out kind of shirt vibes, almost has a tribal sort of thing going on with it. Like I said, I'm assuming that at each layer you're going to get a different, like, type of skill for that cape or whatever. Like,
it's got, like,
boost,
that kind of
but,
design to it.
It's a cool-looking design,
it's
dude.
Kind of very Infernal Cape looking.
Looks like Diablo 2, the box art for Diablo 2. It kind of reminds me of that.
It also makes sense because, of course, to make blacksmithing items, this is the sort of style that it would go through. So to begin with, at the Journeyman, you've got like a fork and a hammer, essentially. Then you've got the anvil, and then Adept, you've got the sword. So a varying degree of swords of different sizes. So you've got more dagger type stuff, long sword types.
It's red and it's black and it has a little bit of a yellow highlight around the red.
Then you got Expert in terms of some axes that you can make. I don't know whether these are axes.
Keep it up, dude.
Keep
going, man. I need you to tell me about the news. I'm not paying enough attention.
And then the completed ones has some kind of spear items. Now, I could see the spears being incredibly useful. So, for example, if you can't run away from a mob straight away, maybe they're going to interact in a way where you can kind of test out the mob, but because you're further back, because you've got a spear, maybe there's something there. I don't know.
He's from Yorkshire.
But that's just theory crafting. But the blacksmithing cape looks very cool. I really like the design of that.
I'd say the blacksmithing cape is like a 6 or a 7. I just do not like blacksmithing very much. Like, that's not my fantasy, I don't want to be the guy with the big forearms over top of the forge, just like, kang, kang, kang. Like, that's not the life that I want to live, But, power to you. If that's your vibe, for sure, I feel it.
But then moving on, we've got something called the Watch Person Cape. Now, interestingly, this kind of doesn't have a split design. It just has a dragon going through it. So I assume...
Watch Person Cape. Quest Cape. Maybe.
That you unlock the dragon as you go along. So first off, if you're a journeyman, you're only going to unlock the tail of the dragon, Adept, and then so on and so forth until it's completed its full design into the...
I would take a different wager on this.
Adept,
I would say that something about
until it's completed its full design.
Hold on, let's see it again. Can we bring it back up, buddy? There we go. Well, there are lines that they've arbitrarily drawn, so he could be correct, but by the fact that it's not separated out like all the other ones, and the bottom of this would just be like the nose of the dragon, which would make this a really poor design to chop up into pieces, I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and take the guess that this cape is unlocked all at once instead. That it's the only cape that actually, like, that will be unlocked all at once. And to me, that means that this sounds like a quest cape. The Watch Person, I don't know what the heck that means. That doesn't sound like a skill to me. That sounds like an achievement to me.
It just has a dragon going through it. So I assume that you unlock the dragon as you go along. So first off, if you're a journeyman, you're only going to unlock the tail of the dragon, Adept, and then so on and so forth until it's completed its full design into the full kit. And Watch Person seems
the detective skill is going to be so... I'm going to interrogate people so hard, bro. I'm going to be like, what'd you do with the cake, bro? What'd you do with the king's cake that I made for him? Hold the torch underneath him.
We'll talk about that in a moment. I've got an idea.
Shout it in his face.
So the next one is Merchant as well. So
here we go.
You can see here.
Another skill that I actually know what it is. So far, we're 2 for 2 on skills that I understand what they are and I don't understand what they are. Merchanting, speechcraft. You're trying to sell things at higher prices. I don't know how you're going to train this up. It must be an NPC ran skill. Do we know if there's player-owned trading yet? Video guy, do we know? I don't think we know. Okay.
Varying degrees of items.
It's my producer over there, by the way. It's a big operation
jewelry,
here.
Fruit, etc. Market stall at the top there. So this is a very interesting skill to me. I'm interested to see how this one's going to work.
Yeah, how it's going to be trained.
But essentially, profession is going to be merchant. You're going to be able to do stuff to do with that. Now,
I still want to know if they're going to let us change our skills throughout the game. If it's going to be like World of Warcraft where you can just learn and forget skills at your leisure. And also if once you get the capes, if you keep the cape once you get rid of the profession. Because there's so many professions that are there. On top of there being a lot of professions, there's professions coming out at different phases. So if you start off and you only have 2 professions or 4 professions or whatever it's going to be in the first season, the first chapter or whatever they're calling it, then you're going to have this issue going through the game where you're not going to have access to the later ones because your first character had the beginning professions, but maybe as you go through and you play a different class, I don't know what they're planning on doing. Hopefully the whole point of professions is that you grab one, you train it up, you get the cape, you get all the benefits of the cape, and then you get rid of that profession. Maybe the cape is going to be like checkpoints in the profession to where like you can get rid of that profession once you have that cape at that point, and then you can still use the profession for the skills of that cape up to the point that you have. Like if the third one is like level 60 or whatever, then even if you get rid of that profession, then you can still cook up to level 60 things. That could be a really cool thing.
Let's go through all of these skills.
I'm theory crafting hard, baby.
And what they
this
might
is what I like about these videos.
Entail.
They really bring it out of me.
Now, first of all, the Mind Fighter, I think it says it does what it says on the tin, right? I think you're going to be...
You keep saying mind, buddy.
The Mind Fighter.
He put a D on it. Mind is not mine unless it's M-I-N-E-D, in which case I don't even know why you would call it the Mind Fighter. That doesn't make any sense to me. I think maybe it's Mind Fighter. I don't know, dude. I'm very interested. See, this one is drawn in this line. I can't imagine that they would design one cape out of all of them that has no segmentation whatsoever and no clear point of like where you would draw these lines at, and then you would still get it. This has got to be a different cape. The Mind Fighter, I don't know. Let's see what he thinks.
I think it says it does what it says on the tin, right? I think you're going to be able to mine with this skill, but then also you have to fight off mobs. So maybe
okay, we're gonna look up Brighter Shores professions list. We're just gonna see if we can find a name of this. Mind Fighter. Okay, so it is Mind Fighter. So what do we know about Mind Fighter? If we click on this link, there's already a wiki going, guys, it's a type of profession. Dude, this is like... Get me on the ground floor. Let me help, dude. I'll make something. I can write that line.
Maybe what it is, for you to actually mine a particular area or mine a particular rare rock or resource, you've actually got to clear out the monsters first.
Yeah, no, 100%, dude.
Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult to mine. So you're going to have to sort of like...
So, okay, let's go back. Hold on. Is that the only... Miner. No, we have Miner as a skill already. So what is the point of Mind Fighter? Like, I need to know, like, am I going to have to use up one of my 2 profession slots for that, dude? Yeah, Woodcutter and Scout. So maybe we are in the same things, dude. Maybe we do have, maybe Fisher is the cooking fighter, the kitchen fighter. Maybe Scout is the forest fighter. Maybe that is the way that this is going to work out. Chronopolis, Merchant, Detective, Leatherworker, Watch Person. Watch Person. So is Watch Person going to be, is it going to be questing, or is it going to be like being in the city and actually like catching people in crime? Is it going to work more with the detective situation, and Leatherworker will work more with Merchant? They do seem to kind of tie in a little bit, and there's like a branching path thing that's sort of developing within this whole situation. I mean, Alchemist, Stonemason, Forager. I need
to clear out the room.
Andrew Gower. Listen, we've had some fun here. We love to have fun on this channel. It's kind of what I do. Sort of what I'm known for. Having a little bit of fun, goofing off a little bit, getting out there and, making the people angry in ways that they didn't even know they could be angry at me. But honestly, truly, if it's just you and me for a moment, listen, bud, I want to play your game. I want to make content about your game. I want to stream playing your game to my 400 at times viewers on Twitch. I've worked very hard over these past 6 months, and I've been working even harder over the past decade to learn how to do all of these things that you see here today. So if you need someone to close beta test your game, if that's going to happen at some point, I can find nowhere to email you on your website. I've looked. I'm the guy that you want to talk to. I'll do right. I'll make you proud. Because I have to make myself proud. And those 2 things will coincide.
Before you then continue to mine the resources that you want. And I think that this could be quite interesting, and especially as you get up to higher levels in this skill, it might require like a lot of skillful activities as to how to actually defeat the mobs, but at the same time be able to mine the resources as well. And so I would say that hopefully that, of course, the mobs that you kill drop items alongside you getting the ores, so then you're getting 2 levels of resources there. Otherwise, if the mobs don't drop much and you only get the ores, you hope that the ores are going to be very, very useful to make up for that, because it's going to take a lot of supplies in terms of food or potions or whatever.
Where's that accent from? Like, actually from? Oh, where is it? It's not like Liverpudlian.
To actually obtain those ores and clear the room.
Yorkshire?
So we have to see how they balance that. But I think that could be interesting. The mine fighter, maybe that this is a location-specific profession where you can only train it in caves.
Yeah.
Then you've also got the blacksmithing, as in sense that, of course, you can make items. I won't go into that because that's very...
How many professions can you have at one time? Hold on. Unlike other MMOs, blah, 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 blah. Professions are skills the players can train in Brighter Shores. Most professions can either be trained by the player actively playing the game or passively while the game is closed. If the players blah, 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 they can use multiple at once. We need an actual number here, guys. Multiple at once. Let's see where your reference is for this. References, Austin Wood, RuneScape creator, answers our biggest questions about his new MMO. Wait. Austin Wood, okay. Classes may, okay, so someone has a link to that. I don't know. I could follow that link, but I swear that I've heard people say it's 2 at a time.
Obvious. Then you've got watch person.
Maybe it was 3.
So I think this is some kind of night skill. So, for example, you've got Herport and Herport Forest. Maybe it is that you're a sort of guard and you've got to protect the area. So, whereas in Minefighter, you're in a cave and fighting potentially. As a watch person, maybe you're
in the town
trying
fighting.
to defend the city in some.
Bro, I literally made this joke earlier, and it's if that's the truth, I'm gonna lose my mind, dude. If we're like City Fighter, bro, I'm telling you though, you don't need fishermen to be the fighting class for cook. You put a restaurant in this game, and you're in the back of the restaurant making orders and things, and occasionally you get a guy who like makes one of your servers cry, and you walk out there and you just deck him one, bro, and you like lay him out, and you like get over top of him all hulked up and everything. People are trying to pull you off, and like you have to like mash buttons to like throw your arm through the people and like get back on top of them and start laying into them, dude. Like we can get it like that, dude. Make it the Waffle House simulator, bro. That's the thing, bro. You got a problem, we can talk it out right after I'm done fighting the cook down at the Waffle House. You know what I'm talking about?
Doing certain activities. Again, this is theory crafting.
What am I doing?
I think that makes sense. It's some kind of night or because it's called the Watch Guard or something. Herp Forest Watch Guard or something, right? So watch person makes me think that you're going to be some kind of guard. So, and then you've got merchant. Now, I'm interested to see how they actually implement this skill. Is it the merchant, the profession, actually dynamically trained with other players, or do you have your own stalls, so your own market stalls where you put your own goods on there, sell them, and that's how you level up your skill? Is it that you have to transport one piece of goods to another area, and then that's how you collect the skill? Is it like a weird version of farming on RuneScape, right? So farming, you attend to your patches, right? You grow the seeds. What is it if you have to go collect your items at a market stall, right? And then basically collect the profit, set your price.
It could even be that straight up selling things in some kind of market board grand exchange thing, or as he's saying, in stalls that sell to players, that like the amount of items that you sell and the amount of gold that you make from those sales like translates directly over to experience in some kind of way. Because he said that all these skills are going to have AFK versions of training them, so I could see that being an AFK version of training that skill. Who knows, man? We don't know until the game comes out. I am a little bit like frustrated by how little information Andrew Gower is actually putting out and how much we're having to scrap for videos that like are literally just out here theory crafting and have no real idea of what's going on. Like we're all just pontificating about this game.
System where you've got to maintain
Put out more for Andrew Gower. Let me into this game, dude. I will I will go into the mines of your new video game. I will retrieve the ore of information about the things that are going on. I will bring it back out into the cold sunlight of YouTube, and I will let everyone around smith it into their own versions of what this game is going to be, dude. We can do this together, bruh.
Like you would in farming,
You and me,
maintain
Andrew.
the patches, right?
And probably like
But
a
it's just
dozen other
another
people. I'm not
variation
that
of
big,
that,
dude.
and that's how
Honestly,
you
like
train
I'm
it.
like I'm not even like 5,000 subs yet, dude. But like, you know, like who else? Who else is beating down the
Or it
door? Are
could
you gonna
be a
let Settled do
combination of
this,
all-
dude? You think Settled has the time to play Brighter Shores, bro? I got nothing but time. I've been playing all these games. I'm playing Dark and Darker now, dude. I've got Maple Story back on the computer. I've been playing Guild Wars 2, RuneScape 2, RuneScape 3. I've been playing World of Warcraft lately, dude. I've got nothing but time, man. I'm not that good of a player in any of these guys. I ain't high level like all these guys. I ain't doing 17-hour grinds to make 1 minute of a video. Like, that's not me, brother. I'm gonna stream it. I'm gonna cut it up into little clips. I'm gonna put those little clips on YouTube. I'm gonna get a few, probably like 300,000 views over the course of 2 or so months doing this game. Like, just like, yeah, it'd be good, dude. You know, it could be good
all
for
these
both of
elements
us.
in terms of how you actually
Please, I'm
train
desperate.
your merchant skill. But as we can see, there's a variety of different cape designs there. Now, which one do I like the most? I think
I'll chill, buddy.
out of all 4 of these, I really like the blacksmithing one because it's got that infernal type vibe to it. And I also like the merchant one because I'm interested to see how this skill works. And I do like the design. It's quite dynamic on that. So to note as well, the first episode on release, it's going to be Chef and Fisher. So you're going to be able to train those skills to begin with. And later on in the game cycle, they're going to release the other episodes and you're going to be able to train these professions. So episode 3 and 4 that these capes are in, you won't be able to train them straight away, but you'll have that to look forward to.
I wonder if Andrew Gower is somewhere cracking up to himself of watching people make all of this content about the least amount of information that we possibly have. If he goes to the Brighter Shores wiki and just sees this like bare bones outline coming around the thing that he's making, seeing the hunger for what he's doing, and he's just like, this game's going to do fine, like 100%. I don't even know. Let's go to the Brighter Shores. Let's go to the main page, like factions. Let's see what they've got here. Dude, everything is just like 1 or 2 lines. And I get it. I totally do. You're laying the groundwork for like these things that are coming out, but like, and there has to be a place for people to go like see these things all in one place. And I guess it's cool, but like, dude, it's just like no information on it. He's been drip feeding us. I don't think this game is coming out in November. I really hope it does. I'm desperate to play Brighter Shores. Like, I'm really excited about it, but like, it is crazy. And maybe this is his marketing strategy. Like, maybe this is the thing. Maybe he knows that there are people who are just going to be so hungry for information about him, and it's the mystique of it. We're doing the brand new thing where the mystique of it is what actually drives everything. But just how little information he's actually shown us, how little he's actually shown us about how the game plays, but maybe he wants people to experience it without them knowing anything about it, the way that we used to do things before we had all this data mined information. That's why he hasn't let people into the game, because he knows that there's all these leaks that are going to happen. I'm assuming that if we have any kind of closed beta for this game, which I kind of doubt at this point, I bet it will be called early access when it first comes out. But I bet that if we have any kind of closed beta, it will happen days before the actual release of the game, not weeks. That's sort of what I'm thinking at this point. It's getting too close. November 5th. Remember the 5th of November. That's what he said,
Well, and also
don't hold me to it though. LOL. That's what he said, dude. Like, he's playing with us. It could be next year before this game comes out, dude. And he might know that already, and he's just like stringing people along with it.
Recent news
He could
as well.
be
So Andrew
masterfully
Gower
marketing.
responded to somebody tweeting.
Don't believe people who have Andrew Gower's sense of humor on anything. He could be doing a bit. This whole game could be a bit, dude.
This post, so they put, I noticed that the Steam page has been updated with information regarding early access. Does this paragraph refer to the premium pass, or
Let me
have
know,
plans
Andrew.
changed since the interview with the Games Radar? And what they've done is that they've updated the model where you have decided to offer both, so people can choose. So what does that mean? So essentially, there's going to be the option to buy the episodes, or you'll be able to get a monthly subscription and just have a reoccurring payment.
That's a good move.
So that's also going to...
That's what Elder Scrolls Online does, and that's a great move. I think that you should have subscription fees in games like this. I think that's an important thing. Offer benefits that would be useful to people who are willing to pay for the subscription fee that don't necessarily give them a huge buff over other people. I think in Elder Scrolls Online, you get like 10% extra XP or something. It's not a huge amount, but it is a little bit. You know, you're like... You unlock everything, but you can also just purchase everything. So it's both pay to play and it's also like pay once, you know? So I think that's a really good way to do it, for sure.
To be an option.
I like the extra little things that come along in a game, quality of life wise, when it doesn't have to rely on people paying for microtransactions and things to completely support itself. When there's a subscription fee in a game, you don't tend to have as many of those pay for convenience things that happen in games where you don't have subscription fees.
Now, it's also
and those things really get on my nerves a little bit.
The release date is now set at November 5th as the set release date for the game.
Nice animation, dude.
Around
Good
about
job,
a
brother.
month and a half away. So
I like this guy, genuinely. I know we've had a little fun here today, Yorkshire, but like I like this dude, man. I hope that when we get into Brighter Shores, you know, I hope you hit me up, man. I hope we can you know, do some stuff. You seem like you're really into it and you're really excited about it. I hope that this isn't just one of like a dozen channels that you have, you know, like this, but you seem like you're really into it, dude, and good for you. I'm also really into this game. I think it's really, really exciting. I've made, I don't know, 4 videos on it at this point. I am hungry for information, so when I saw your video pop up, I was like, I gotta watch this thing.
Not long from the game. And also, there might be some sort of open beta before the game's release. So if that's the case, then that will be coming, obviously, before November 5th. So that could be
God, I hope so.
Number of weeks. Who knows?
Dude, I'm so hyped.
We're going to leave you with this video that showcases the recent
like
footage
this video. I want
of
to subscribe
the
to his channel. You guys should as
November
well.
5th release.
He's only got 1.89k subs. We could definitely get those numbers up for him.
Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I'll see everybody later.
Guys, it's, you know, I'm hype. I'm really excited for this game. I keep thinking about it all the time, and like, you know, I'm looking forward to it. I'm like trying to figure out the ways that I'm going to fill up my time in the interim, so we'll have to figure out what we're going to do next and all those kinds of things, but I'm just excited. I can't wait for Brighter Shores. I think it's going to be really good. I trust Andrew Gower as a developer. I on a deep level, I believe that he knows what makes a video game fun to play. He's done it before. His brain works in a really specific way. I like the way that his humor works. I like the way that his thought process about things are. I've watched interviews with the guy. He just seems like he has a sort of a rap on things. And this game looks really, really good. I like the art style of it. I like the idea of the instance rooms. I think that's really cool for being able to like step into a world where all of your friends are and you can sort of like divvy them all up in these kinds of ways. I think it's going to be fun. I think it'll be a good time. That's the video for today, guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. Be safe out there. Bye.